Okay, so today is my day 2 video and I'm going to be doing it right here. And today we're going to be talking about which is easy, from 0 to 1 million or from 1 million to 100 of millions. And that's for business people, because a lot of people think, oh, if I start a business, I could raise it to 1 million, and immediately I can get 1 million, then I can raise it from 1 million to 100 million. It will be easy. That's why you see that a lot of founders are going for please give me the 1 million. So when I get the 1 million, I can easily raise it to tens of million or hundreds of million. And you see some other founders saying that, oh, okay, just let me just get the idea. Then from idea, I can change it to 1 million. Then if I get to 1 million, I can raise it to 10 million and 100 of million. I have come to tell you that without proper structure as a founder, understanding structures, it will be difficult for you to raise your money from 1 million to 10 million. So it is easy for you to raise your money from 0 to 1 million than it is for you to raise from 1 million to 10 million or 100 million. And I'm talking to business owners. So if you're a business owner and you have a business and you're like, okay, if I can raise it back as fast as possible to tens of millions, it will be easy for me to take it to hundreds of millions. So you see, that's what founders does not know, because most founders are stuck in operation, and because of the fact that they are stuck in operation, they can't lead the business. And business owners, your main focus is leading the business, is not to be stuck into operation. So first of all, there are things you should do as a business owner, there are things you should delegate, and there are things you should manage. So that is what makes you scale from the tens of millions to hundreds of millions. So it is easy for you to get loan. It is easy for you to get grant to start that business. But when you started that business, if you don't understand how or the mindset of a business owner, you crash that money back to zero. You'll crash the money back to zero. So yeah, if you're starting out a business, have this in mind, that it is more easy to raise from 0 to tens of millions that it is for you to raise from tens of millions to hundreds of millions. But with proper structures and organization, then it will be very, very easy. So now let me give you a bit understanding of the kind of structures that you can put in place, and it is management. So I was doing a research about my business for the first 2 years and the things that have happened to the business and why I failed a little bit in the first year or 2 years, and I found out that it was lack of management. So I have a catfish farm, my first business, because I have my first business, which is the agricultural aspect of my business. I have a fish farm, and when I started the fish farm, I was working on it on my own, and then after sometimes I gave it to other persons and I left the business and I crashed the business. So founders, business owners starting out, business owners scaling and going globally, because small business can also be in the hundreds of millions. Because if your vision is 1 billion, tens of billions of dollars, then if you are doing 100 million, you're still a small scale business. So you must understand how to scale globally. So yeah, then you must understand the management, which I was talking about. Management is very, very important. Management is very important. And there are 2 steps of management I'll be talking about. Management that involves you and management that does not involve you. Yes. So the management that involves you is what is very, very important when you're starting your business. So the first 2 years of your business, my advice is that be the owner and the chief executive officer of your business. Yeah. So it's easy for you to delegate the CEO to someone else. But the first 2 years, make sure you are the one managing the business, because you are the one that owns the vision. So it's the vision and the idea in the first 2 years that you're going to be putting inside your employees. But if after 6 months of the business, because you're already making sales, you're delegating a CEO, the CEO might not really know the visions and the policy of the business. So my advice for you is that for the first 1 year, 2 years, depending on how the business is, make sure you're in charge of the business. Then the next is, as you want to scale, because there are 2 things I'm talking about in this video: how to move from 0 to 1 million, and 1 million to tens of millions, tens of millions to hundreds of millions, which is more difficult. So the second aspect of it is about how can you, now the first aspect I spoke about was you managing the business yourself, which is very, very important, because you are the one that is going to be putting it out there, especially because what holds a business or sustain a business at the long run is the policy and the vision of the business. Not just the fact that you are generating profits, not just for the fact that you are making sales, is the policies of the business. So the first 1 year or 2 years, your main focus is not just to not just to make money from it. Your other focus should be how can you put this same mindset and visions to people. So that is why it is important that you manage the business yourself from the beginning. Then the second aspect is if you want to scale. So if you want to scale, it is still very important to understand the other aspects of management, which does not necessarily or primarily involves you. And I've spoken, I was on a call with someone that has made over $2 million in revenue or in sales over the last 3 years or 4 years of her business. And I was talking to her, and after a lot of discussion, I found out that, one major reason is that she has been stuck into the operation of her business. So the reason she has not been able to break into $5 million, $10 million is because she has been stuck into operation. So most times she's trying to manage the marketing. She's trying to manage those doing his video editing for her. She's trying to manage production. She's trying to manage a lot of things. And you are the business owner. So you are no longer doing the hundreds of thousands. You want to scale globally. So there's just particularly a kind of ceiling that is always there, that if you want to break through that ceiling, you must understand things. Businesses are in different phases. And at every particular phase, you must understand what works in that phase. And to move to another phase, you must know what you will need to break through to that other phase. So I spoke to her and I told her something, that you are stuck into operation and you have to know that you are leading the business. So do some task, delegate some task, then manage it. And this is why many companies have managers that oversees managers. Yeah. So let's say in the marketing department, we have the manager that oversees the marketing department. Then we have the other manager that also manages the old operations that is going on. So at the end of it, as a founder or as the business owner, what I'm just doing is that maybe at the end of the week, I'm coming to have a discussion with the managers. Okay, so what did we do this week and all of it? So during the week, it's not like I'm sleeping or I'm sitting down. It's that I'm thinking of the next phase of the business, how we can break into the business. And with this, if you're not stuck into operations, it will free your mind. You'll be able to hold on to new ideas. But then if you are stuck to operation, you are really going to find it hard to scale. So I hope you got something from this. It is very easy to move from 0 to 1 million than it is from 1 million to tens of millions at whatever level. And also you must understand the two types of management in business. Management when you are in small scale, when you're just starting out, and the management aspect when you are trying to scale into another level. See you in my next class. Follow, subscribe, and comment. So if you have any question, just comment it. I'm going to be having a live class when I will be answering those questions. All right, do take care of yourself.